Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this morning. I always think about when I tell you folks I'm glad you're here this morning, I was thinking, I always told my students, I'd say, good morning, students. I'm glad you're in my class today. And a lot of them would look at me, are you serious? You won't? And I always meant that. So, and they got a kick out of it. I said that 180 days a year with my students. So I feel the same way about it. I'm glad you're watching the show. I appreciate the viewership, and we'll try to do the best we can. Let's move on with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin, Highway 77. High today, getting all the way up to 63 and a low of 40. Water temperature is 67.5 to be exact. So we're hanging in there, and it's cool, a little bit of cool weather we had. Probably going to cool it down a little bit, so we'll see. But the weekend is shaping up, and it's going to be blowing, but it's going to be pretty decent as far as you can get in some good areas. Our river readings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood, good fresh seafood. It's as simple as that, cooked well. Our place called Bluntstown, leveling off now at a 9.3. And then the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is at a 7.1. I got a little note here from Wilbur Mill. I ran into him the other day over at C-Deck, matter of fact, and he brought up a point too. He watched the show every morning. Wilbur, retired state trooper, and just a great outdoorsman, loves to hunt and fish, and his family does the same. And he was telling me, he said, Winston, you realize we got 2 full moons in January, and then no full moons in February, and then 2 full moons in March. I started looking, I said, is that right? So that's unusual to have that situation with 2 full moons in those 2 out of 3 months like that. So thank you, Wilbur, for bringing that to my attention. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at high tide at 1:19 and the low tide at 12:53 right after midnight. And that's brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. But looking at the wind, you know, March is historically known as the windy month. And it's fulfilling that. Starting off the first week of March, it's been like this. It's blowing. Today it's going to be out of north-northwest at 10 to 20. It's going to blow today, tomorrow. It's going to blow this weekend too. So it's just a part of it. And I always said the good thing about the wind blowing, it keeps those mosquitoes and those bugs down in the ground and away from our skin. So always look on the bright side. Let's take a break and be right back. All right, for you avid fishermen, and when your time on this earth is gone and you're ready to be laid to rest, we've got the ideal situation for you. Check this out. This is gloryboats.com. This is a casket celebrating the lives of outdoorsmen. I ran across this and I just busted out laughing. I imagine if my dad had it to do over, he might would have been buried in something like this. But anyway, well, that's a great idea, and I just thought that was cute. I know some of y'all appreciate that. Okay, that's the Glory Boat casket. All right, I got a couple of good pictures to show you right here now. Kenny French. I've been telling y'all, Lake Wimico, they've been tearing them up on Lake Wimico. They really, Kenny said they're eating it up. That's a healthy bass right there. Bass Nation. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. They're having a junior high school state qualifying tournament this coming weekend, and it goes on to say this is sponsored by BASS, and this is what I want to say about this. Again, this is a great opportunity for these schools. Every school in the Florida Panhandle should have a bass fishing team. It's as simple as that. Don't let those administrators tell you they cannot do it. You see what they're doing over at Quincy, Childs High School, Leon High School. They can do it, and some people are dragging their feet and they're scared to do this and that. Flat out, if I had a kid in school, I'd flat out demand, I want a bass fishing team. You're going to have to pay for it yourself, but what's a great, one of the best ways to spend a weekend is go fishing or go to the place where your son's going to be fishing or your daughter's going to be fishing and spend a weekend doing that. It's awesome. And plus, it's great, and the kids love it. So anyway, I'm going to keep preaching that. Every school needs a bass fishing. Even this is middle school also. A good time to get started. All right, getting back to bass fishing. Brand Marshall, one of my former students, Marshall Brothers Construction over there on East Avenue. Brand's working hard over there now because his daddy owns it. He's got to work hard. But his daddy let him go fishing, and you see he is a good outdoorsman. Brand's always catching some nice fish. He loves to duck hunt also. Kenny Zediker. A lot of y'all remember the old Zediker family out of St. Andrews. They've been there a long time. Kenny lived up in Atlanta for a while, moved back here now and working, and loving to fish, and like I said, those sheephead are hitting it hard right now. Florida's fourth season on top left is a pollen season, then there's a summer season on the right. Bottom left is a hurricane season, and then there's football season. And that's our 4 seasons here. So true. How about our good friend down there at St. Joe Reserve? This is Debbie Crumknocker. She and her husband Marty, they love fishing. Marty and I had a wonderful afternoon on St. Joe Bay yesterday with Captain Dan's Perfect Cast Charter. It's called 2 trout, 3 flounder, 3 redfish, including this beautiful 29-inch redfish. After pictures, they'll put her back in the bay so someone else can experience the excitement of catching such an amazing fish. And then went back to the St. Joe Buffer and enjoyed this beautiful sunset over St. Joe Bay. Good job, Deb, and thanks for sending that. Got an email here from one of our viewers. This comes down from Lake Okeechobee. Okay, good morning. This is Bad Danny. He said, good morning, Chester. Okay. I enjoyed this morning's video of you all brim fishing. This is on Monday's show when I had Whitney and us down there brim fishing at Howard's Creek, okay? This reminds me of the trip around 1950 when me, my father, grandfather, and brother went fishing at Dead Lakes and stayed at the Chipola Park Inn. And that was a while back. They're no longer there. We got into a large shell cracker bed and really tore them up. We fished with the cane poles and corks just like y'all were fishing on the video. So that was some special times I know way back then. And I'm glad, Bad Danny, good morning to you down around Lake Okeechobee. And appreciate you watching the show down there. Also now, let's talk turkey. We got turkey season coming up. And I tell you what, folks, we want to push our local organization here. They're having a youth division where you have, whoever gets the biggest gobbler is going to win that first prize and all. Ken Paramore and Stan been on the show talking about it. We want to encourage you to enter it. Call Ken or call Stan. Enter your child in that, and there are going to be some really nice prizes on a youth turkey hunt. The season opens this weekend on youth turkey. Now on that goes all season, the whole Florida season, but you can take a turkey here or in Georgia. So be sure and join on that. And here, I'm going to show you this picture here where to hunt spring turkeys without a quota permit. You see right here, I won't go read all of these to you, but here in the Panhandle, we've got quite a few places to go without a quota permit, okay? And then, of course, I show this once a year, the different distribution. Blue, of course, is the eastern wild turkey, okay? The blue color is the eastern wild turkey. And then South Florida, the peninsula right there in the center, that is the Osceola, okay? It's named after Chief Osceola. Okay, and they call it Florida wild turkey. Then green is the green in the middle of the screen is Rio Grande, and then the red is a Merriam, and then tan is a Gould, and then there's some others. The oscillated way down to Mexico, off the Yucatan Peninsula. And I talked to a guy yesterday. Mark Brown had a friend that shot one of those, and it's beautiful. He showed me the picture. It looks almost like a peacock in a way. The colors on it just flamboyant colors. So there are all kinds of turkeys, but anyway, right here in the Florida Panhandle, we have plenty of turkeys, so be aware of that. And also, here's another sort of a better picture of it, but it gets more detail as almost each county. You can see the eastern turkey. And what you can do, you can follow, as the season warms up, you can start in the south and work your way up north, and you can hunt for like 2 months on a daily basis, okay? There's a picture, that's the eastern on the far left, the Merriam. And on the eastern end, they got like 5 million of those. And then the Merriam on there, the second one, there's like 340,000. And then the Rio Grande is a 1 million plus. And then the Osceola, and they want to say there's less than 100,000 Osceolas, okay? And then on the far right, in the center page is Gould, and they don't give me a number on those. And then the oscillated, that's the one I was telling about. Looks like, look at those colors, almost like a peacock. So those are different subspecies of turkey, okay? Let's take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let me make a correction. That email I just read is from My Kayak One. That's the name of the guy that sent it to me, his pen name. Bad Danny was an email right above it. I just misread it. You know how it's hard to read early in the morning. But good morning, Bad Danny in Lake Okeechobee, and thank you my kayak one for sending that email on fishing in the 1950s down at Dead Lakes. And if y'all have any old pictures or any old video and all, I would love to put together some old black and white video of those days of anywhere in the Florida Panhandle doing any kind of outdoor activities. It would be special, and those, we don't have those anymore. It'd be neat to put those together. Like I put my book together, but just sort of a video version of it, and I would love to collect some of those. So let me know. Now we're gonna do something I've never done before, so just kick back, enjoy that coffee. I want to talk to you a second. Well, as most of you know, I have a house down at Cape San Blas, and we built it. It was always our dream to have a place down there. We started there many, many years ago camping when my kids were in diapers, and we just fell in love with the place. So anyway, I have the place, and I built it for my family, of course, and over the years we've used it and all, but now as my grandkids and all, you know, start growing up and everybody's busy with life and all, we're just not using the place as much as we thought. It is a beautiful, wonderful, ideal place. We drew the plans and built it to exactly what we wanted. What we're going to do now, we decided, Gail and I've talked about it in depth, and we're not going to sell anything. We're going to always keep it, but what we're going to do now, we're going to put a little rental program together. It's going to be a very selective rental program, and I wanted to talk to you about it. And when I finish talking, I'm going to show you a video that Jeff Peck did for us the other day, and I'll show you the video of the place I'm talking about. But here's the deal here. And we're going to, it's sort of like a modified timeshare. We're going to rent our place for 5 families, just 5, okay? Now each one of those families can have it for a week at a time for 1 week during each season. So 1 week in the summer, 1 week in the fall, 1 week in the winter, and 1 week in the spring. Now I got this idea from some friends of mine back home in Quincy who were doing the same thing in Mexico Beach. I know the folks who are renting it from, and I also know people who own the house, so I've talked to both of them. It's a wonderful program. Now what you'll have when you rent the place, you're going to have a big old box up there with your name on it, with a big old plastic box, your bed linens and your personal stuff and all, that when you drive down there, and we'll go from like Sunday to Sunday, you can get all your stuff out, and it is your house for the week. And now, I want to tell you about the house itself. It's right near the state park. The subdivision, I bought the property way back in the early 90s. I bought it there because I had access. It gave me access to the bay, where I could take back then a canoe, now I can take my kayak down there. So it's a private access to the bay, and I also have a private access to the beach. And most of that video I've shown y'all where I've caught those pompano are right there. And it's a great fishing. Now, speaking of, you know, wintertime, you know, I used to think summertime was the prime time, which it is rental. We go online and look at how much it costs to rent those places in summertime. I want to tell you something. Fall and winter might be my favorite time, especially that fall run, that winter, and go fishing in January and February at the Cape. Nobody's there. You've seen the video. Nobody's there. You can catch whiting and trout and big redfish in the wintertime right there in the surf. So I get excited. You can get scallops. I've gotten scallops out the back of that access area. So really neat area to go. So I also, let's see, of course, no animals, no smoking. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It will sleep 12 people. There's a bed for 12 people. And you'll see in the video where they'll build downstairs, upstairs. Now I got a downstairs fishing room, all this stuff. And I'll have some fishing stuff there, but if you're like me, you want to bring your own fishing stuff. Then look over the cooking area. I've got a smoker, a grill, and also a gas cooker. There's 3 different ways to cook down there. Then I have an outside shower downstairs. Like I say, you can wash off and all. And it's an ideal beach house. So what we're going to do, we're going to offer the first 5 families, and you're the very first group I'm offering to the viewers here on Panhandle Outdoors. I feel like, you know, you're our kind of people, and I know people like y'all love the outdoors and will take care of something like that. And like I say, we're just limited to 5 people. So what we're going to do, we're going to show this video, and it's a great video. It shows you different angles and everything. And we'll take a look at it, and then we're going to come back. We're going to take a break after the video, and then come back and I'll close it out. So Jeff, let's run this little 2-minute video. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in St. Joe. Looking at 5:01 to 7:01 this morning and 5:25 to 7:25 tonight. Now, I hope you enjoyed that quick little video. Again, let me just say, you can get it the 4 seasons. I sort of picked this out myself. That's what I'd want to do. And also keep in mind, too, you might want to go in with somebody. If you like some other family member that lives out of town, they want to come down with you and maybe split the time. Or if you own a small business, you might want to keep it 2 weeks and let your employees have it a week or two. There are all kind of options we can work with you with, but you'd be responsible for, for the contract and all that. And it's again, it's an ideal place. It really is, and we love it down there. But it's almost sinful for it to just sit there, not being used and all. So we're gonna go with that. And also, I want to mention, you see the quality of video that was done with Jeff Peck. Jeff has his own little company. He's had it a while, Cove Media Productions, and he can do any of that kind of work, like drone footage, a lot of his rental property. I know people on his hunting leases. I know you can go on Google Earth and look at it all, but there's nothing like having a drone fly over a hunting lease and look at it. So y'all contact Jeff, and any kind of work you want done, he can do it. Not only he can do it, but he'll do a quality job with it. Jeff, I work with him every morning, and all this, jumping around with cameras and all, he's back there doing it. He does a tremendous job, and I appreciate Jeff. And got any kind of business you can send his way, it'll be great. Now, speaking of Google Earth, I'm on Google Earth into I've got to talk about that tomorrow. Now on the show, I'm going to have Captain Mitch Coleman's going to come be on the show. We're going to talk about that red snapperoo. Then we're going to talk about fishing here and what he's been doing lately and what's coming up next couple of weeks. But I want to go ahead and zoom in on what we call Deepwater Point. I'm going to keep it right there in the center of your screen. That's Grand Lagoon. You see the pass, of course, coming in the pass, and Shell Island at the bottom. So this place called Deepwater Point. Now that's a unique place. I've been on both sides of this story, and it's already heating up. And as we all know, the Spanish mackerel are going to be there. Now there's a lot of campers and a lot of locals go and fish. They walk out there, and I used to do it before I had my boat. I'd go out there, and this time of year, I'd be out there at daybreak and fish off Deepwater Point. Now here's the problem. There's not a lot of leeway for boats coming in and out, especially charter boats and all their big boats, but there's a channel, but it drops off really fast. And it's not a problem, these commercial boats and all, they know they stay in the channel, but now you get some folks in that's not really accustomed to the area, and they're going to get too close to that point right there. They're going to be trolling for Spanish. This week, I'm doing it today because it's going to happen this weekend. I guarantee you it's going to happen Saturday morning. There are going to be some boats. There's going to be about probably 20 or 30 people fishing off that point this weekend, I know. And there's also going to be boats coming in and trolling, okay, and they get close because that channel is really deep right there, and the boats get closer. The people on shore get mad at them, and I've seen this happen. They'll actually try to cast and hit the boat. Now, I've seen it happen on the pier, but I'm just talking about Deepwater. That's another story. But on Deepwater Point, and folks, we just got to work together on it. A lot of times, like I said, I've been on the shore and I've been in the boat, and I've seen both sides of it. I've gotten irritated when a boat did it, and I've been tempted to do it myself, but that was in my younger days when I couldn't control myself as much as I do now. But I've been in the boat too, where all of a sudden, we're trolling and we got a Spanish on and looking, and there's shore right there. You don't realize you're that close to it. And they'll holler back and forth. I heard some salted language go back and forth over the years between the shore people and the boat people. So just be aware of what's going on there, and just treat your fellow man as you would want to be treated yourself. And your boats, try not to get too close, and your shore fishermen just have patience because that boat's going to get out of the way. So that also goes with pier. I just wanted to share that with you, and as a heads up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go over there Saturday morning and be very well entertained. Real quick, talking about getting back to hunting now. We've had Ben DeZoglio on the show, the Southeast Bow Hunter. Y'all remember Ben? Ben's got this lease up here up in Missouri, okay? And is anyone interested in getting on a Central Missouri lease? It's 788 acres of hardwood and pines all mixed together, $2,200, and it's going to hold it to 5 members, $2,200 for the year, and there it is right there. So contact Ben if you're interested. A lot of folks are going up places like Missouri and Kansas now and hunting and getting some fine quality deer. And you give somebody like Ben who loves outdoors and is a good man, and I know you'll have a good time. So anytime you have something like that to share with our viewers and all, we'll certainly put it on, try to help everybody out. So anyway, contact me if you're interested with renting the beach house down at the Cape. Contact me. It's going to be the first 5. If I don't get enough people doing it on Panhandle Outdoors, y'all the first people I offer it to. Then in my next group, I offer it to my Facebook friends, and my third and final option, just open it up to anybody, vacation rental by owner. But I would love to have some local folks take advantage of that great opportunity. Y'all have a great day today. Do your job real good and enjoy the great outdoors, and always do something good for your fellow man. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.